themselves have a talented homegrown youngster in their team. This is Barry Ferguson, who's 20 on Monday. His big brother is ex-Ranger Derek, now with Falkirk. There are big hopes for Barry. He may not have played from the start today were it not for a persistent groin injury which restricts Paul Gascoigne to a place on the bench. Top scorer Marco Negri is still out with eye trouble, and Alec Cleland is suspended. There's no place for Stalis Stensas, and Jonas Tern is missing. George Alberts is back in the team, and so too are Rino Gattuso and Tony Vidmar. The referee at McDermott Park is Jim McCluskey. St Johnstone start the match. They won't want to dwell too much on their record against Rangers. It's been 26 years since they last boasted a victory against the Ibrox side. But they'll want to think a bit more about their run of recent form. They beat Celtic a month ago, and how they'd love to do the double in what's been a great return to the Premier Division for them. Here's Vidmar for Rangers. Gordon Jury in the middle. Alan Kernahan with the header, taking no chances inside the first minute. Good early ball in from Vidmar, but no takers for Rangers. One of Paul Sturrock's quiet phases. There aren't too many in the dugout. Alberts marked tightly by Weir and by McQuillan. Back with Laudrup. Good run by Barry Ferguson. Shadowed by Dasovic. It's a good turn, and a good ball in too. Gattuso couldn't quite get there. Callum Davidson got the touch. And now Preston for a Boyle. Lovely skill that from Barry Ferguson. Shimmied one way, then went the other, and a dangerous ball in. George Alberts with Tony Vidmar outside him. That's for Jury. Half chance for Gordon Jury, and Alan Main was scrambling. The turn was good from Jury, the shot didn't quite match it. Played in from Alberts, got himself away from Kernahan, but didn't really catch that effort. Alberts winning it back, now McCall. Gordon Jury gives it straight back to St Johnstone. It's Preston. Philip Scott's on the outside. Paul Kane and John O'Neill having a look. That's for Scott. Cross goal, nobody there for St Johnstone, but Rangers will be alarmed by the space given at the far post to Philip Scott. Walter Smith knows Rangers need to keep winning under pressure from both Celtic and Hearts in the title race. Good weaving and bobbing from George Boyle. Hammered away by Davidson, and he wasn't too happy with the challenge which came in from Gattuso. He's a fierce competitor for the ball, is Rino Gattuso. O'Neill back to McQuillan. Touch from Boyle. Scott beaten by Goff, but the ricochet may work for St Johnstone. Glazed over the top by McQuillan. He had to make a quick decision as to whether to try to pull that back or have a crack at the Rangers' goal, and George Boyle reckons that should have been his. It looked as if the move had broken down, but this worked in the Perth team's favour. Controlled by O'Boyle, the shot from McQuillan. Alberts dispossessed by Dasovic, and John McQuillan ran straight into John O'Neill. Rangers could cash in here. It's Laudrup. Good challenge by Jim Weir, and that came off Laudrup, and it's a goal kick. Blood on the face of John O'Neill. And if he was going to be injured, he wouldn't have expected to have been injured by one of his own teammates. McQuillan crashing into him. Good tackle by Kane. McQuillan being pressurised by Jury. Good work from the Scotland striker. Vidmar leaves it to Laudrup, then gets it back. This could be promising. Gattuso, dangerous and away from Kernaghan. Good play between Laudrup and Vidmar, lofted into the goalmouth, and then the cutback from Gattuso, cleared by Kernaghan. Dasovic, that's a good ball. Paul Kane leaves it for George O'Boyle. John McQuillan's up in support. O'Neill, Kane and Preston at the edge of the area. And George O'Boyle getting there too. But it was good backtracking from Vidmar. Conceded the corner kick. Alan Kernaghan and Jim Weir are both in the box for John O'Neill's corner kick. Here is Kernaghan beaten by Goff and away from Bjorklund. Dasovic leaves it for Kane. Good vision that from Kane, picking out John O'Neill. Driven in on the half volley. And a chance at the far post for Kernaghan. He's disappointed, he couldn't put that on target. 2 goals already for the Perth team in this latest phase of his career. This was good play from Kane, opening play out. Good delivery as well from O'Neill, but Kernaghan couldn't make much of it. Marini finds Alberts, and an aimless header straight at Jim Weir. Kane to Scott. Good run by Philip Scott. Callum Davidson in support. Right foot this time. Goff's header, collected by O'Neill. McQuillan, Kane, always watchful for the John O'Neill run. Can they get in behind Tony Vidmar? He's past him now. John O'Neill's effort, and St Johnstone teammates screaming for the ball in the middle. And John O'Neill is not popular. There are real possibilities here for John O'Neill once he eventually got his way past Tony Vidmar. Lots of options, and he took the wrong one. Here's Vidmar. It works for Jury. Good change of direction from Gordon Jury, and he tried to chip over Alan Main. Fortune favoured Jury in the build-up. He worked the opening well enough, couldn't find the finish. Boyle holding off Bjorklund. Doing well. Preston did well to get there first. And for Lee Jenkinson again. Early ball in from Jenkinson was a good one. It was aimed at Philip Scott. And terrific defending that from Richard Goff. Clever ball in from Jenkinson. Good build-up this from St Johnstone. Preston and Jenkinson, and then Goff. Barry Ferguson gave that away. Here's Philip Scott. McQuillan with John O'Neill outside. That's for George O'Boyle. It's Paul Kane. Got to the byline and settled for a corner kick with Richard Goff in close attendance. Goff closed this down very quickly when St Johnstone began to look menacing. There's the penalty area for the John O'Neill corner kick. Again, it's Goff there first. Good play from Gattuso, away from Dasovic. But good work from George O'Boyle, winning it back for St Johnstone. The high hanging ball from Lee Jenkinson. Here's a chance for John O'Neill. St Johnstone are ahead. 9 minutes from half-time.
They've had a good spell of about 10 minutes, and they now cap it with the opening goal. Good ball in, this from Jenkinson, but Rangers will look at this with horror. The room given to O'Neill, and he made the chance count. It's John O'Neill's 4th goal of the season, and St Johnstone keep up their run of tremendous form.
Walter Smith is down in the dugout. That goal had been gone in.
Jenkinson, only one in the box to aim at, and it's Philip Scott. Unable to put much power behind the header, but again, a St Johnstone player finding room in the penalty box. Again, it's a quality ball in from Jenkinson.
Back from Gough to Ferguson. Flick from Jury. Runs for Laudrup.
As for Alberts, good save by Alan Bain. A brilliant stop by the goalkeeper.
Well, that's the save that keeps St Johnstone in front at the interval. A stunning stop, because that was hammered in by Alberts. Good set-up this from Brian Laudrup. The pass for Alberts, and he really caught the shot, and what a reaction save that was.
And that's half-time at McDermott Park, and St Johnstone are in front thanks to John O'Neill, who scored 9 minutes from half-time. The cross from Lee Jenkinson fell for the unmarked O'Neill, and he drilled a shot past Andy Gorham. But St Johnstone have another player to thank as well. Goalkeeper Alan Main pulled off a breathtaking save from George Alberts inside stoppage time at the end of the half, and St Johnstone very much meriting their half-time lead. St Johnstone 1, Rangers 0. Rangers restart. They've only lost once in their last 14 matches before today. The form of champions, but certainly hasn't been the form of champions here so far. And I wonder if we'll see Paul Gascoigne introduced to the play before too much longer. He's sitting on the bench meantime. Gough to Vidmar. Ball breaking for Alberts. It's his throw. And there's Paul Gascoigne warming up alongside Roddy Grant, the St Johnstone sub, behind the goal. Gorham looking for Ferguson, away from Preston. The offside flag was up against George Boyle. Given away by Alberts. Straight to John O'Neill. Tony Vidmar was the target. Paul Kane, it's a good ball from McQuillan, and it's a good run, and a ball! What a chance that was for number 2. And George Boyle can hardly believe that he missed that opportunity. Beautifully set up by Paul Kane, the measured pass, pace from McQuillan, the cutback from him, and somehow George Boyle knocked that wide. Difficult to find fault with the way this was set up, but George Boyle usually sticks those away. Aston Villa chief scout Peter With, one of the many scouts represented at the game today. Callum Davidson, of course, is off, but other young players being looked at too. Spurs, Blackburn Rovers, Leeds and Wolves also represented in the stand today. Gattuso to Ferguson. Now Porrini. It's Sergio Porrini, another good save from Alan Bain. Sergio Porrini obviously frustrated at the lack of cutting edge about the attackers today, so he had that effort all by himself.
Brian Laudrup's corner kick, away from Kernaghan, back in from Ferguson. Now Lee Jenkinson. Back to Laudrup. Alberts, Goff, Vidmar. That came off McQuillan, a second chance. First effort with the left foot, second with the right. John McQuillan in the way of number 1, and the number 2 hooked wide. Paul Sturrock advancing from the dugout as Rangers start to put some pressure on. That's for Vidmar. Laudrup away from McQuillan and Dasovic and O'Boyle. It's a great run from Laudrup. Gattuso. And total breakdown of communication as the ball was squared at the edge of the area. But that certainly was a thrilling run from Brian Laudrup. Terrific skill. George O'Boyle got there before Richard Goff. It's a good turn. Waiting for the McQuillan run. Always available and willing support is McQuillan. That's a good ball in too. Knocked down by McCall. It falls for Kane. McQuillan battling for possession. In from Kane, it's a bouncing ball. And somehow it's knocked behind by Porrini with Lee Jenkinson lying in wait. Almost a chance at the far post for Jenkinson as the ball bounced towards him. Kernaghan looking for Jenkinson, short with the pass. And Lee Jenkinson does well to win it back. That's a counter ball from Kernaghan. Lee Jenkinson's away here. George O'Boyle on the far side. The ball in was short and allowed Richard Goff to clear. Now Dasovic. Jenkinson again. He's being a menace to Rangers. One wonders why Lee Jenkinson started this match on the bench, because since he's come on, he's had an incredible impact. Vidmar, Gascoigne and Laudrup. Johansson looking for a chance to turn and squeezed in a good shot too. He didn't have much room in which to work there, but he managed to fashion the opening well, having received the ball from Laudrup. Good turn, and he really had Alamein stretching. Scott to Preston. And now Jenkinson. Won by Dasovic. Here's a real chance for Philip Scott. Claims for a penalty, it falls for George O'Boyle, and Tony Vidmar gets it away. What a chance that was for St Johnstone's second. What a chance this was for Philip Scott. He was trying to work the ball inside to George O'Boyle. Maybe what he should have done was had an early shot himself. Laudrup, he's away from John O'Neill. He's away from Alan Kernaghan. He's away from Alan Preston. And finally the chip collected by Alan Main. Wonderful skill from Brian Laudrup. All that was missing was the final ball. A darting, weaving run, but full of pace as well. But it all fizzled out. Preston to Jenkinson. Back again. And Lee Jenkinson is onside. He's in behind Sergio Porrini. Looking for George O'Boyle. And Bjorklund there first.
Lots of chances coming St Johnstone's way. Gascoigne not too happy about the attentions of Dasovic. A flash of temper. Troubled times for Walter Smith and Archie Knox. Laudrup with Johansson up ahead. He's being tightly marked, or he was, by John O'Neill. That came off McQuillan. Leaves it for Vidmar. Trying to get in behind George O'Boyle. Use of the shoulder by O'Boyle, which he thought was fair. But a free kick given for obstruction. An explanation being given by Jim McCluskey. Now, what can Rangers make of this? In from Gascoigne, Richard Goff's header, just a couple of feet off target. He came to the rescue last weekend with a late winner against Hamilton in the Cup. And this header agonisingly close. Kane's pass, perfection for Lee Jenkinson. O'Boyle and O'Neill are in the box. Porini's in the way though, and it's a corner kick. He's won over the Rangers fans, Sergio Porini, after a shaky start. Now forming a pretty solid back line. Johansson on the far post. The Lee Jenkinson corner kick. Goff there first. Back from Kane to Jenkinson. He can aim at the area again. Philip Scott got a head flick to it. Here's Kernaghan. Hammered in, and George McGhee scores! That's number 2 for St Johnstone. The ball in from Kernaghan was absolutely right. After Jenkinson's cross flew across the area, he hammered this in hard and low, and O'Boyle got the touch. George O'Boyle's 9th goal of the season, and this could be the one that seals victory against Rangers. Kernaghan's pass, but the offside flag was up. Kane to Jenkinson. Jenkinson against Porini. Coming inside and then outside. Good play from Jenkinson. Lifted the ball over the top of Andy Coram's head. But sadly for St Johnstone, nobody there to benefit. McCall finds Gattuso. Waited too long, and the ball was taken away from him by Lee Jenkinson. That's a foul by Jury on Preston. A sign of Rangers' frustrations here. Back with Stuart McCall. Laudrup against O'Neill and McQuillan. It's a good ball to the far post, and Richard Goff couldn't quite make it with the header. He got there, but he couldn't put the effort on target. Really tempting ball this, played in by Laudrup. And Alan Main happy to see this fly wide. Laudrup to Vidmar. The challenge in from John O'Neill. Laudrup twisting himself away from Philip Scott. And Johansson's effort came off John McQuillan. That's a corner kick off the St Johnstone defender. Alan Main with Gordon Jury at close quarters, trying to get in front of him. Corner kick taken quickly from Gascoigne to Johansson. Lifted up, and again a Richard Goff header which fails to hit the target. You get the feeling he could have a few more attempts as well and still fail to find a way past Alan Main. That seems to be the way it's going. Goff's pass failing to find Johansson. Knocked down by Craig Moore, but it only served as a set-up for Lee Jenkinson. He finds George Boyle, Jenkinson still down. Kane for O'Neill. Scott and O'Boyle in the middle. And here's Kane and O'Boyle. And that almost ran through for Philip Scott. George O'Boyle explaining that he didn't know he was there. In from Kane and the O'Boyle flick. Otherwise that might well have fallen for Scott. Some Rangers fans have seen enough already. With 5 minutes to go, they're heading for the exit. Walter Smith stays on with Archie Knox and hopes that a minor miracle can be achieved here. 2 down with 5 minutes left. Here's Jenkinson. And Scott again. St Johnstone putting on a show as the final whistle goes. And the Premier Division leaders have been beaten. And they've been beaten quite comprehensively by a highly impressive St Johnstone side. The game changed for them really with the introduction of Lee Jenkinson as a first-half substitute. He had a major impact on the match. And George Boyle was the man whose goal sealed this win for St Johnstone. John O'Neill had put them ahead in the first half, and it was George Boyle who tucked away a cutback from Alan Kernican in the second half. And St Johnstone's impressive run continues. The fans making the most of this moment. Twice in a month they've beaten the old firm pair. 1-0 it was against Celtic, and now 2-0 against Rangers.